We begin a series of presentations which will walk you through the Catechism of the Catholic Church's section on the sacrament of matrimony. And this information is going to be kind of rote memorization. These are the kind of fundamental truths and the fundamental claims of the church that need to be understood in order to best understand the sacrament of matrimony. So we begin with a section on marriage and God's plan, specifically the subsection of marriage and the order of creation, how marriage is written into human nature. But let's begin with the definition of marriage. It is a covenant or partnership of life between a man and a woman, which is ordered to the well-being of the spouses and the procreation and upbringing of children. When validly contracted between two baptized people, marriage is a sacrament. Now, we'll kind of break this open in a future presentation, but we see some of the basic components that it's a man and a woman who can enter into a marriage, that it is a partnership of life, meaning there is a permanence and a comprehensive nature, and it is ultimately ordered to the well being of the spouses and the procreation and upbringing of children. So, first of all, the vocation or the call to marriage. The call to marriage is actually written into human nature in the act of creation. When God creates man, he creates man as male and female, and he creates male and female with human nature that is naturally ordered to marriage. So, what this means is that marriage is not a human institution, it's not a merely human institution, it's an institution created by God and written into human nature. That means that there are also common and permanent characteristics that can be discovered and demonstrated in all forms of marriage, whether it is marriage that is seen as evolving and changing over time, or the various forms and instantiations of marriage and matrimony in different cultures and nationalities. Because it's written into human nature, it impacts the well-being of humans, not only as individuals and but also societies. Insofar as we have a proper view of marriage, it means we have a proper view of human nature. And if we abide by human nature properly, then there are benefits, our fulfillment as individuals and as humans in society. If, however, we get it wrong, then we act against our nature. And in acting against our nature, we do not work towards the well being of individuals or society as a whole. God created man out of love, and God created man for love. Love is the fundamental and innate vocation of every person. What that means is every person is created by God out of love, and every person is created by God for the purpose of love, to love others, to love God. Now, we're created in the image of God. God is himself perfect love. We're created in that image. We image God by loving. And specifically, man is created as male and female, which means there's a specific way in which male and female demonstrate or image the love of God, and that is through their mutual love. Man loving woman and woman reciprocating that love towards man. That is a special way in which we image the love of God, not only the love that God has within himself as divine persons, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, but also God's love for man. And because we are created out of love, we are the fruit of God's love, so our love must be fruitful, which has implications for the procreation and upbringing of children. And finally, man and woman were created for each other. Remember, in the garden, Adam, it was diagnosed by God that it is not good that man should be alone. That loneliness, we're not created for that. We're created for community. We're created to participate in society. And so woman is given flesh of his flesh as a helpmate. Flesh of his flesh here means equal. And helpmate here is meant to image that this is a gift from God, that it is God ultimately from whom our help comes, but that comes in the form of woman and man to woman as well. And finally, the mutual love is intended to be permanent. It's actually to the creation that Christ refers when he says that what God has put together, let no one separate, because they have become one flesh. Man and woman become one flesh, and so it is permanent, it is lifelong. Mutual love is intended to be permanent.